Hello students, how are you? In the previous video, we have started the chapter reproduction in plants and we studied the general introduction of the parts of the plant. Like there are two kinds of part, reproductive part and the vegetative part. Okay, the part which take part in reproduction are known as reproductive part and the other like stem, roots and leaves are known as the vegetative part of the plant. Two type mode of reproduction, asexual reproduction and the sexual reproduction. When the vegetative part take part in reproduction, then it is known as asexual reproduction, and when the reproductive part like flowers takes part in the reproduction, it is known as sexual reproduction. Okay, in this video we will be starting with different types of asexual reproduction. Okay students, so shall we start? Let's start with different types of asexual reproduction. First one, vegetative propagation. As the name suggests, this type of reproduction takes place with the help of vegetative parts of the plant only. Only one parent can produce the identical offspring in vegetative propagation. Now this is very important. One parent. What is it saying about one parent? Means in sexual reproduction you need two parents, a male and a female, okay? But in asexual reproduction only a single parent can produce the offspring. And remember, the offspring that will be produced will be identical to the parent itself. Okay, because there will be no variation or no changes. The changes are just because of sexual reproduction. Okay, so only one parent can produce the identical offspring in vegetative propagation. Now vegetative propagation is also of two types. It is, one is natural means of vegetative propagation and another is artificial mode of vegetative propagation. Clear? So first we will be starting with natural means of vegetative propagation. First one is vegetative propagation by roots. So you can see the diagram, the vegetative propagation by roots in sweet potato. Plants that have tuberous roots, that is roots which are used as a storage organ in plants, participate in vegetative propagation. What are the tuberous roots? The roots which store food, okay, which function as a storage organ. So plants that have tuberous roots, that is roots which are used as a storage organ in plants, participate in vegetative propagation. In order to grow new plants, these tuberous roots are sown in the soil and there are buds present on the fruit that grow above the ground and new plant is formed. Now you can see in the diagram there is an old stem. Okay, now the tuber, that is the swollen root that act as storage structure, are sown in the soil, and you can say the new shoot or from that bud is forming, bud on the root tuber is forming, and this leads to the formation of the new plant. Clear? So why is it in the category of vegetative propagation? Because this type of reproduction is occurring with the help of roots. So this one is the vegetative propagation by roots, and the example are sweet potato and dahlia. Okay, very important students, you have to remember these names. Okay, whatever the example that we will be discussing, you have to remember the name. So the example of vegetative propagation by roots is sweet potato and dahlia. Next is vegetative propagation by stem. Stem tubers, just like tuberous root, some plant have tuberous stem. Now I hope the meaning of tuberous stem is clear to you. The stem which act as a storage organ or which stores food, that is a tuberous stem. These stem tubers store the nutrients and bear nodes. These nodes bear buds that form new plants. Okay, now there is nodes on the stem tubers and those nodes bear buds that form new plants. What is the example? Potato. Okay, you might have seen it is said the eye of the potato. Because of that eye, the germinating bud generate from eye. Okay, it is commonly called eye of the potato, but it is not eye, it is a part through which vegetative propagation occur. You can see in the diagram vegetative propagation by stem in potato. Okay, there's an eye and then from that germinating eye bud comes, and these buds when if comes into contact of moist soil, they result in the formation of the new plant. Clear? So this one is the vegetative propagation by stem. Again, why it comes under vegetative propagation? Because the reproduction is taking place by the part other than reproductive part. Clear? Next is runners. Okay, this also comes under vegetative propagation by stems, but quite different. Let's see. Some plant grow along the ground and contain modified stem called runners. These runners contains buds that can produce roots and stems. For example, strawberry. Now you can see what happens in runner. See, if the main plant is there, from that main plant a small lateral branch arcs upward and then arches downwards, and when it touches the ground at that point of time, it grows into a new plant. So this is the vegetative propagation. Again, there is a lateral branch growing from the main branch. You can see vegetative propagation by runner stem. The lateral branch arises, and that after going upward for some time, then it again arches downwards, and whenever it touches to the soil, from there the new plant is germinated, and this is because of the runner. This is known as runner, vegetative propagation by runner stem. The example is strawberries. Here, next is vegetative propagation by leaves. Some plants have leaves that contain buds that can develop into new plant. Example, bryophyllum. So these were the three types of vegetative propagation, and I need to say that these were natural vegetative propagation. Why? Because in this the propagation occurs through roots, stem and leaves, and on their own when they continue reproducing and forming new individual. Vegetative propagation by leaves occur in bryophyllum. What happens? The plants have leaves that contain buds. When these buds come in contact with the moist soil, they give rise to the new plant. Clear? Next is artificial means of vegetative propagation. So let's discuss what is artificial. That is done by man, okay, not occur naturally. Cutting. It is a method in which cutting from a plant is taken and planted. This cutting is part of stem or the branch of the plant. Example, roses. Now you can see what is done. Basic stem cutting. The stem is cut. Now this is very important. The part is cut which contains nodes, because I told you in nodes there are certain buds that arises. Okay, if you will just place internode region, then there will be very difficult that a new part will or new plant will arise. But if you put a part that containing internode, okay, then it will be easy for the plant to grow. So because there are the buds growing on the node region, okay, you can see the cutting planted with node point in the soil. So you need to cut the plant part that has a node. For example, if it is stem cutting, so you need to cut the stem, that part of the stem which contains node. So this is first artificial means of vegetative propagation. It occurs in roses, that is cutting. Clear? I hope the diagram is also clear to you. Next is grafting. Sometimes two plants are joined together so that both of them can provide the desired characteristic to a new plant. One plant remains rooted in the ground, which is called stalk, and provides the essential nutrients and water, while the other plant's stem is attached to it, and that is known scion, okay, or you can say scion, attached to it, and in this way a new plant develops. Example is apple. You can see after grafting it is wrapped and waxed, so that after sometimes the cell of these two join and the process of xylem and phloem, or you can say the conduction of water and mineral, can take place. This is known as grafting, and it occurs in apple. Clear? Now these were some vegetative propagation. Let's discuss what are the advantages of vegetative propagation. The plants that are produced with vegetative propagation grow faster than those that are produced with sexual reproduction. The plants that reproduce with vegetative reproduction have fruits and flowers ahead of time. Third, the plants that produce have exactly the same characteristics as that of their parents. This one we discussed earlier, that because of no variation are involved and single parent is involved, so the plant that are produced by vegetative propagation are exactly similar to that of parents. And because sexual reproduction takes time, vegetative propagation does not, so the plants produced with vegetative propagation grow faster than those that are produced with sexual reproduction. And the plants that are produced with vegetative reproduction have fruits and flowers ahead of time, because you know in sexual reproduction there will be a time after which only the fruit and flower will rise. Unless and until the fertilization will not takes place of the male and the female gamete, till then the fruits and the fruits will not develop. Clear? So this is the advantage of vegetative propagation. So this was about vegetative propagation. In the next video, we will be starting with another types of asexual reproduction like budding, etc. Okay, we will be discussing it in the next video. Till then, students, keep studying and stay inside our house. Take care of yourselves. Thank you and have a nice day.